In this lesson, we will learn about how different entities in the medical clinic communicate through OSCAR. The first method of communication is ticklers. Ticklers can be accessed from the top right corner here. If I click the tickler button, I get a list of all the ticklers associated with the medical clinic. However, the front desk staff takes care of the ticklers associated with the front desk. So therefore I have to use the create report button here to select the ticklers that are associated with the medical clinic. So then you look at the tickler and you see the message is to call the patient to follow up for the lab. I click on the patient, I get the patient's master file, and then I click on the e-chart, and then I will get the patient's e-chart. So in this case, I was asked to call this patient to follow up for labs. So what I will do is I'll get the patient's phone number, call the patient, tell him follow up for labs, and then I must document thoroughly my encounter with the patient, and I write it right here where the little flashing button is. I would write, call patient to follow up for labs, and patient will, patient booked appointment tomorrow. So that's a good message. I don't have to write my name because when I will sign it, the name will be there automatically. If I'm unable to to contact the patient, I could say call to patient, no answer, no voicemail, we'll call tomorrow. And if that happens, then I can just again sign, save, and exit. Pressing this save button will save the message if I want to go back to it if I haven't finished writing it. But let's assume we want to just sign, save, and exit, and then we've taken care of the tickler. Let's say the next day I click the tickler and I go into the patient's e-chart, and this time I'm able to contact the patient. Then what I would do is I would write call patient, or patient called back, booked appointment for tomorrow, and then I can just again sign, save, and exit, and then once this is done, I can just complete the tickler, and it's completed, and I don't have to really worry about it. And now when I go back into the front desk ticklers, there's no more of that tickler. That tickler's taken care of. If we look at this other tickler here, which is somebody asking to fax or a referral, what I would do is I would go into the e-chart. This is another common thing that's asked for the front desk to do. Very straightforward. So again, fax, bounce back, referral. I would just click on this e-form here just to go back. The e-forms are found here under the green area, and then you can see the one dated today. It's called bounce back referral. I open this referral, and let me just make sure it's visible, and then I would just say here I would just say fax, I would just say print, and then I can just select the fax, and I click OK, and then I just fax it off. Close this document, fax, bounce back referral. Then I click sign, save, and exit, and then I'd complete the referral. Great. Now we go back. There's no more tasks to be done by the front desk, so it's great. So at every shift, the staff should check and monitor these ticklers. The other way to communicate through OSCAR is through messaging. Messages here are found on the top right corner. actually in the middle, it's red, so that means I have a message for me. And I look at this, so there's my old messages, a new message. Old messages can be archived, and I can always click deleted messages to find the message. But in this case, the message is here. This is the active message. The difference between ticklers and messages is that ticklers are assigned, or ticklers can be accessed by everybody. Messages are specifically to me. So this would be more nature, a personal nature. But in this case, for example, I knew that this person was working, or the doctor knew that a person was working, or they want specifically this person to call this patient. So then I go on the message, and then I can just call this patient to follow up for labs. I have the demographic, and I could similarly go to the e-chart, but there's when it's a message, there's a little button called Write to Encounter, which is very useful because what it does is it brings in the message to or it copies, transcribes the message automatically for me. So I could just write, once that I've called them, I could say called this patient to follow up, will come as they walk in. And similarly to before, I would just click sign, save, and exit. So now if I go back into the encounter, I will see my message. Will come in as a walk-in. My name is there, so I don't need to write the name, my name, date. So it's well documented. So ticklers and messages are the two common ways that staff and doctors communicate with each other. And so this concludes this lesson.